Let's talk some Friday racing at Woodbine. Big weekend coming up with Saturday racing at Woodbine. Well, I can tell you about some of the Saturday racing at Woodbine right now because it's Woodbine Mile Day. It's Turf Champions Day. 3 Grade 1 races, 4 graded stakes. Race 6 kicks off a pick 5. That's a graded stakes races, graded stakes in 4 of the 5 races. $250,000 guaranteed in that pick 5, races 6 through 10. 100,000 guaranteed early pick 5, $250,000 guaranteed late pick 4. All that money up for grabs. That's on Saturday. If you want to play in the BCBC, you can actually qualify this weekend in the Woodbine contest, but you have to register by Friday at noon Eastern time. So make sure you get registered right away if you want to play in that, and you can play from ExpressBet. We're going to take a look at Friday's early pick 5 sequence, races 2 through 6. It's a $50,000 guaranteed pick 5 pool. And you can play for just a 20-cent based wager with these DRF past performances. You can get them for free when you sign up for a DRF Bets account. Use the promo code WINNING. Every time you bet $50, you get credit for another DRF card. Race number 2. The 3 Eremos is the big dropper of the short prices. I think he makes sense. He has the blinkers coming on. They're trying to get him a little more speed early. I like the one in here, Dancing Deputy. It's a horse who tried the turf last time, didn't like it, and that was in against Better. The only time when she's been in, I say he, Dancing Deputy, when he's been in a comparable spot, he ran really well to finish third. It was a good start. He was right on the lead, and then he took back. He sat off. He ended up sitting wide all the way around. He was within about a length and a half. 3 deep, he moved up the challenge. There was a rival to his outside 4 wide that made him in between horses. He got pushed late. He was very, very good. Really nice effort finishing third. I think the effort was so good, that's why they decided to try tougher. Who's going to go with this horse on the front end, though? I think naturally he's just the quickest in here. The 2's not fast. The 3's not fast. The 4's not fast. The 5 would be the only other one that could possibly sit in a really nice spot or maybe be on the lead. The 6 is not fast, and neither is Yorkville. So by process of elimination, it leaves us with the 1 and the 5 as the fast horses in here. Dancing Deputy fits at the level. Everything about him makes sense. I just hope he's aggressively handled from the rail. The number 1, Dancing Deputy, is the play for me. The 3, Eremos, looks like the horse to beat. The 5 might be that next pace horse who finds himself in a really good spot. The 7, Yorkville, would be the next one for me. Just kind of a measuring stick horse. And he might fall into a really good trip from the outside. I like the cutback from the 1.16 there. 1-3 all over the place, and then if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, the ones I mentioned after them. Let's get to the third race. In this one, we'll go 6.5 furlongs on the turf, $25,000 claimers. I like the 3 quite a bit. Emerald Lake. Now, this filly does not need the lead. She crushed last time out when she dropped in against a lot lower. Look at her form before that. She was here in Southern California facing really tough company. She ran behind a horse named Anisette. This is a multiple graded stakes winner and a grade 1 winner. Unfaithful Ways was in there, came out to win that race next. Glen All came out to win that race next out. Eleuthera's a nice horse also. So all the form in Southern California, this horse had been facing really tough company. Goes up to Woodbine, tries to figure out where she fits. They try optional 40 non-winners of 3. Look, she was only 6-1 in that race. And she showed speed. It was on a good turf course going 7.5, and she faded. Then she takes a huge drop down in class. She crushes. She gets back to the turf. I think she sits third in here. The way it shapes up on paper, Silent Guru's very quick, and Systematic's pretty quick. I'd love to see Emerald Lake sitting third right behind those two. The 6 horse, Silent Guru, I also do think is intriguing. She's the one to catch, and she has won at and beyond this distance. If anyone can sneak away, it might be her. She might be quicker than Systematic. 3, 6, 2 Systematics, the next one. And then 4 Cleomones. I'm going to take a shot against my Sunny Valentine. And I'm really going to lean on Emerald Lake in here. 3, 6, 2 for me, Emerald Lake, the one I like. We move to the 4th race. What makes this race a little difficult is your top 3 betting choices in here, they all are really fast. They all have speed. They all want to go. Give me the boots. She has never shown the ability to come off the pace really either. She's been pretty one-dimensional. United Front, also been pretty one-dimensional. And the other pace player is Map. So you have 3 major players. They're all fast, and you figure they'll all want to be forwardly placed. So I'm looking for a horse who can sit off a little bit. That gets me to the 2, Tamana. She debuted in a stakes race. Twice in her 6-race career, they've been in stakes races. The 3 times she was at lower levels where she fits, she's run really well. That August 18th race, she was inside about 5 or 6 lengths off. She was traveling well. She was down inside behind horses. She finally got room late, and she just missed second. The horse that she lost to is a horse named Catchy Name. I'm recording this on September the 14th, and Catchy Name just won about 10 minutes before I started recording this. So she lost to a sharp horse. And I think she can get a really nice trip. She has enough positional speed based on like what she showed last time. I don't think she'll be completely outrun in here. Tamana is the play for me. Then I'll go to the 10 Map. I think she has the ability with the outside draw to figure out what everyone's doing. And then if she really wants to go and clear from out there, then you've got the 3. Is getting some class relief. Give me the boots. Big drop. Trying to figure out where she fits. The 7 would be my next one. Hell of a Holiday. She's getting some class relief. The synthetic form is not bad with this horse. And if you go back to some of the sprints, like she was good at 5 furlongs. Just hasn't been showing as much speed recently. The blinkers are on. They want to get her more involved. 2, 10, 3, 7. I like the 2, though, as the play. Tamana will make a win wager if we can get anything over 4-1. 5th race. 25,000 non-winners of 2. I'm going to go to the 7 in here, Midnight Ramblin'. Just lightly raced with the most upside. He's done the least wrong in his career. Comes off of a runner-up effort on the turf. He's been very good on the synthetic. Going 5.5 at this level, he was a runner-up on June the 23rd. This is a spot for him. Look at the rest of the field. The inside 3 all seem pretty quick. Musical Strike wants to go. Musical Stride. Adelaide Court, I think, will be forwardly placed and the blinkers on. Very Debonair is really quick. So it should set up for Midnight Ramblin'. The 2 Adelaide Court, the race that kind of jumped off the page to me was the one at 5.5 furlongs on the synthetic when he came from off the pace back in November. See, he closed from 7th of 8 and he finished 2nd that day. That's the type of trip he might get in here if he doesn't want to show as much of the speed. They have the blinks. Do they want to get more forwardly placed? He can come from off the pace. 7, 2, and 9 for me. Determined Fury. The blinkers coming on. He cuts back. He's drawn well to the outside. No more excuses for him. 7, 2, 9 all over the place. The 5 is a horse I have a hard time trusting because of the 1 for 23 record lifetime. but just based on his last 2 races, he fits in here. Can you play that game with him, though? Can you forget about the rest of his form and just use the last 2? Because off of those races, he's a player. And you want to go a little deeper, even maybe the one is the horse that can run away from him. If there's anyone that clears, is it the rail horse here, Musical Stride? Maybe a little fitter cutting back. Let's close out the Friday Woodbine pick 5 with the number 1, Richie's in the House. 9-year-old. Hope that they just send this guy from the inside. Gets back to the turf where he's been very good. An 18-time winner overall in 35 lifetime starts for this 9-year-old. And he's had a lot of gaps in training. And when he's come back, he's been very good off the bench. The key for me is just pushing through from the inside. I think he's the fastest here. The number 9 is obviously a player. I think she's the horse to beat, or he is the horse to beat. Hallie's Hero is won 2 in a row, 3 of the last 4. He's got that nice tactical style where he puts himself, a few lengths out of it, and he will come running. The 8 right next door, tough to knock the 2-back race on the turf, beating First Level Allowance Company there. So I'm 198. You want to go a little deeper. The 6 gets back to the turf where he's perfect. And he has some speed. He can also sit off a little bit. You have the 2, Mad Dog and Joe, just a total wild card at this distance. I feel like he might be able to sit a nice trip. He has some of that positional speed. Usually it's going longer. 198 for me. You wanted to go a little deeper. I went 6 and 2. That's a look at Friday at Woodbine in that early pick 5. But don't forget about Saturday and the big day at Woodbine. Turf Champions Day. 3 grade 1s on the card. A $250,000 pick 5 sequence that has 4 graded stakes races in it. You can get involved in a contest that could qualify you for the BCBC. But remember that registration closes on Friday at noon Eastern time. For any more details you need, get to Woodbine.